All right, now we're doing 7Q, count the digit. This is by G94, and 88% of people like it. We're going to take an integer n, which n is greater than or equal to 0, and a digit d, which 0, well, it's going to be any of the digits from 0 to 9, as an integer. We're going to square all the numbers k between 0 and n, okay? We're going to count the number of digits d used in writing all of the k squared, excuse me. We're going to call this function taking n and d as parameters and returning this count. All right, so basically what we're going to do, like right here, we're going to square every number up to 10, and then we're going to count all the ones in it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 ones in the numbers up to that. And that's basically what we're going to do, but it's going to be to like these crazy high numbers that we're going to be checking. So first things first, let's set this up in concise syntax. We're going to say const here, this function name equals the parameters n and d, and then an arrow right there. So we're going to say console.log to start off with so we can check it easily. And then we're going to start. So what we're going to do first thing we're going to do is get an array of all the digits squared up to n. And so we're going to use this Array.from static method, which creates a new shallow copied array instance from an iterable or array-like object. And we're going to be using this syntax, the Array.from with the array-like object, and also the element and index. We're not going to be using the element, actually just the index. And then for the array-like object, we're going to be using something like this. We're going to be making an object that says length is 5, right? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to say array.from. The object is going to be length colon in plus 1, because we're going to have the zeros in there too. All right, and then for the little expression we're going to be doing here, we're going to say nothing here. We're just going to have the little underscore there because we're ignoring it, and then we're going to say index here, and then we're going to say index times index, just like that. All right, so why don't we do this? All right, so index squared. So now we've got that. Let's test it out to see what we've got going on right now. So yeah, now we've got this crazy long array. So now that we've got this array, we're going to join all these numbers together using the join method, which creates and returns a new string by concatenating all of the elements in an array separated by commas or a specified separator string. And the separator string we're going to use is just these spaces in between the characters so that they're all butted up next to each other. So we're going to say dot join, just like that. Now let's see what it looks like. So now it's got this huge number right here. And so all we got to do now is split it. And we're going to use the split method, which takes a pattern and divides a string into an ordered list of substrings by searching for the pattern, putting these substrings into an array, and returning the array. So when we split it, we're going to split it by the digit we're looking for. So we're going to say dot split, and we're going to say D for digit right there. And that should be good right there. Now let's test it out, see what it looks like. And yeah, now it looks like that. And this might look a little weird, but think about it like this. Let's go down here. Let's say we've got 5, comma 5. If we split it by the comma, now we've got 2 5s right here. But we only had 1 comma, so all we have to do is say dot length minus 1, right? Hopefully that makes sense to you, because we would, when it was 5, what was it, 5 comma 5, we took this away. Now we've got the dot length is 2 minus 1 is 1, and that's how many commas we just took out of there. And let's test this out and see what we got going on. 4,700. 4,700 looks like the winner, right? So let's get rid of this parenthesis right here, parenthesis, and bring this up here, test it out. attempt it, and submit it. All right. So basically this one's doing, instead of doing the array.from, it's just doing a for loop, creating a, basically it's creating, you know, it's splitting it by something and then using the for each to count, and then it's not going to do something, any blah, blah, blah. This one's doing basically the same thing that one's doing, just except for this one's turning it into, no, this one's doing basically what we did. But we did this, we use the array.from instead of using the for loop right here. All right, and that's basically how that goes. Let's go to my solutions. Very much like this one, best practice in my opinion, and we'll see you next time.